All right, the episode is airing live on Fox as we speak, but on Hulu because I just wanted to make it a quick one and relax and shit tonight. That completes the Mike Skinner installment of Welcome to Flatch, and sadly, it was kind of incomplete with no Nadine there. But anyway, let's get into it. Therefore, Chelsea Holmes as Kelly tore that shit up like Terry Levante, like she should, with the plane stuff. The plane stuff was going well with her dad, Bobby, until Shrub had to fuck it up like Fabrizio Berto by pressing the plane crash button. Although, I do agree with Shrub. Why the fuck would a plane simulator have a button where you get to fucking crash the plane? That'd be like a... Hold on. That'd be like a NASCAR simulator having, a button where you get to crash the car head on into the wall that has no safer barrier at like 170 something miles an hour. Like, come on, I'm pretty sure in real life that doesn't have that shit on a plane simulator where you get to fucking crash the plane. I hope that's just a TV show make-believe thing. But the naked lady, I'm surprised Beth never found out about that, and I'm actually surprised, Shrub didn't get the dingamajig, when a guy gets turned on by a woman. So I'm not fucking saying that on any of my videos, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, because I'm not getting my ass canceled. Hell no. But wow, the Spanish teacher was from Spain. I mean, I wonder if her character knows who Ricky Martin is. I wonder if the actress who plays her knows who Ricky Martin is. But I feel so bad for that Laura lady because it was going so well between her and Father Joe. And then here comes Cheryl. Again, this was a full-on Fabrizio Alberto fuck-up night. Cheryl had to come in and fuck it up like Fabrizio Alberto, causing that date to be over. And, I mean, both were kind of at fault, Cheryl admitted herself that she shouldn't have showed up like that out of nowhere without warning, despite doing the polite thing and knocking instead of just coming straight in without knocking. But, Father Joe should have just ignored her like she wasn't even there. But, hey, we all make mistakes, and, shit happens. What can you do? And Jesse, on the other hand, I guess was making shit up like Jamie McMurray. And it was, didn't want Bobby to be around, But then later, off camera, I guess she wanted him to come back home. And he's right. A parent's child does not understand certain things when they're younger. Even I didn't understand certain stuff when I was younger. And I know one perfect example I can share with you guys at Welcome to Flatch. For those who were in the episode tonight, when I was I was a little boy growing up, a NASCAR fan, and let me see if I can get a good view. Well, I can't get the cars. This will have to do. This man right here was my favorite driver after this man right here passed away. When I used to see flips and fires in NASCAR, I would get so excited, especially with the flips, because on the Papyrus games, I started doing 3D dynamics, NASCAR Racing 4, NASCAR Racing 2002, NASCAR Racing 2003, and even in the EA games where it actually did have the fire, but because Papyrus sadly didn't have the fires, I don't know why, but I like in the EA games, like Thunder 03, Thunder 04, even 2005 Chase for the Cup and 06 Total Team Control, and even 07, you can get away with flipping your car and still you can flip your car in those games and you could still finish the race. Hell, maybe sometimes win it after being upside down, for example, on the 5th lap, and then 280 laps later, something like that, all of a sudden you're in victory lane after being upside down in the middle of the race. That's why I thought, I knew, even as a kid, I knew that couldn't happen in real life, because I knew in real life, if you flip the car, you're done. But I thought it was really cool to see. It was awesome when I was a kid because of the fact I could do it in the games. And my mom or my dad would say, Mark, it's not as cool as it looks. It's kind of scary, which is part of, someone could get hurt or die in that. Even in NASCAR with all the safety advances after your boy Dale Sr. was killed in your first race. So, therefore, you know how scary that could be if a car goes into catch fence? I didn't understand that at the time, but the older I got, the more I understood as to why the announcer would say scary situation when a car goes airborne and flips upside down, side over side, end over end, barrel rolls. So therefore, nowadays, as an adult, when I see a flip, I understand what my mom was trying to tell me, so I will get out. I will get really terrified when I see a flip in NASCAR these days at Daytona and Talladega. If it's in that catch fence, then I scream bloody murder because that's even scarier than just a basic airborne flip. If it's a catch fence crash, I'm assuming the guy's hurt, and I get a little fucking terrified. Hell, even non-flips have scared me in NASCAR. Considering how. Oh, to be fair, I never really said that about fires. When I was a kid, I didn't understand what was so scary about fires in NASCAR. When I saw fiery crashes, I just shrugged it off like it was no big deal. Or when Newman and Rusty's Penske engines grenaded at MIS in '03, when I was there in person at age 9, my first June MIS race and my second August MIS race in a row, I really didn't give a shit. I just didn't. 2003 was the year of fires in NASCAR. You had Schrader and Dale Jarrett at Pocono. The Penske boys, Rusty and Newman. Newman and Rusty at MIS. Newman in June. Rusty in August. Man, there was a lot of fiery crashes in NASCAR in '03. But as a kid, I just didn't understand what was so scary about it. Now that I'm older, I'll just, because I never understood why my dad as a kid, when I was a kid, when we watched races together, my dad would scream, "Get him out of there, get him out of there." Like, Dad, what's so scary about that? But now that I'm older, I can understand if the fire is not something to play with when you're a race car driver, especially when you're in a heavy crash, if you just filled the car up with fuel on a pit stop under green or under caution just five or less laps earlier. You back the car in the wall or get rear-ended, get a hard impact, just not long after filling the car, your fuel cell's going to erupt and car's going to go into flames. So now if I were to see that today, I'm screaming the same thing my dad screamed when I was little. Oh my God, get out of that thing. Because fires in NASCAR do scare me now, and so do flips, and mostly catch fence flips at Daytona and Talladega. I do understand that now that I'm older, but when I was a kid, I didn't understand how scary that was. So that's a perfect example. Even hard hits would scare me too. Maybe a little bit when I was a kid, I'd see a hard hit and I'd go, "Ooh, I hope he's okay." But for example, when Almirola had that hit at Kansas in 2017, even though that was not even a head-on collision, that was a hard hit and scared me to death. And I knew something was wrong when he lowered the window net and didn't get out of the car right away, which, the window net is the safety crew. The driver's okay, but when he wasn't getting out of the car right away, I'm like, oh shit, something must be wrong. And then the next year in that same car, the 43, when Bubba hit the wall at Pocono, when they were showing like the tail end of it and him hitting the wall hard, I screamed bloody murder because of how hard that was. And yeah, that's how scary even hard impacts are. Even if it's the safer barrier, it's still fucking scary. But it's a miracle, even though it was kind of late, he lowered the window net. I thought he was actually injured when he hit that wall. But always remember about that Bubba crash or even the Jimmy Johnson crash the year before in the first Pocono race. If that had been Gen 4 in like 1999, 2000, or even 2001, and like a Monte Carlo, because Bubba and Jimmy drove Chevys at that time in 2017, 2018 respectively, it would have been the Monte Carlo body, no safer barrier back then, no Hans device, and not much of space in the car. That's either a crash where the driver's seriously injured, or it's even a fatal crash. But because Dale Sr.'s death back in 2001, stuff like that is why Bubba Wallace and Bubba Wallace was able to walk away from that crash, and Eric Almirola was lucky to just have a broken back the year before. And it's also why Mike Snyder was lucky to walk away from his catch fence crash at Daytona, 4 days after my birthday. So now I do understand why, stuff like that is scary. Because as a kid, I did not understand that at all. But Yeah, but Bobby's right. When you're a kid, you don't understand certain things that grown-ups do. When you're a grown-up, you finally understand these things that, nowadays the Gen Zs, the kids that are around now that weren't alive, when we were kids, won't understand either. So, therefore, yeah. So, life lesson to the Gen Zs that us millennials millennials know today. There's some stuff when you're younger you're not going to understand until you get older. So, therefore, that's the life lesson tonight. So, tomorrow is probably going to suck ass, even though we have a Busch race to watch tomorrow night. Dale Jr.'s only a Busch Series race once a year. And since, the 10-year limits in effect, 10-year rules in effect, with qualifying being back this year for the first time since 2019, he didn't get the past champion for provisional. But hey, he did get in on speed, and I knew he would. Could you imagine the uproar the internet would have had if he would have DNQ'd NASCAR's once most popular driver DNQing a Busch race for his once a year stint? If Busch qualifying was rained out, Dale Jr. would have had his ass sent home. But he was very fortunate tonight. I will be watching that tomorrow night after work, and I don't even want to go into work tomorrow, but I'm going to say fuck it and go in anyway. And then I will do a reaction video of the Busch race. And I wasn't able to watch the Spurs game tonight because of Welcome to Flatch, so not like it matters, because I wanted to rest anyway, but even if there was no Welcome to Flatch. But, yeah, so Terry Labonte's installment is next Thursday, and this Murray guy, this middle-aged character is going to be in, so I will tag him in this when it goes on Instagram, because I have a whole night, half a night to go until I can be able to steer clear of the tagging glitch again. So this Murray guy, I can't remember your last name, but I don't feel like pausing the tape to look. Really nice to meet you. I look forward to meeting your character next week in the Terry Labonte installment. So for the Welcome to Flatch, folks, I will see you all next week for that. Everybody else out there, I will see you all tomorrow night for my reaction video to the Busch Series race in Martinsville, and of course the Winston Cup race at Martinsville Saturday night for the Virginia 500, even though it's a 400-mile race now. So, therefore, I probably will put the Cup reaction video on my Facebook and on my Twitter. So, therefore, but I probably won't put the Busch one on Twitter or Facebook either. I won't do that. But Cup, I will. And Sunday, I will be going to Fireball Man's to celebrate the birthdays of the Queens of Tearing Shit Up, Bombastic Boy, and one of my very best friends, Miranda Sorg. But I won't be recording a YouTube video or that, just so I can pay more attention to them, and maybe we can do some TikTok so you might see. So therefore, I will see you all for those videos. For now, have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't support a dream. Take care, everyone. Good night. And because of me being on my dad's crib on Saturday, I will not be able to watch the Spurs-Warriors game on NBA TV and CW35. So the last Spurs regular season game for me will also be the last one of the season period when we play Dallas, Mallory James Mahoney's team. So keep in mind, I got to tag Mallory James Mahoney from Bunk to make sure, hey, my boys are playing your boys. So last regular season game of the season. So therefore, I got to tag her and shit on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram and TikTok, and that'll be my last Spurs game of the regular season I'm going to bring to you guys after I'm done with the Fireball Man stuff. And then from here on out, it's free game, playing on Wednesday, so I most likely will have to record the Bobby Labonte installment of Goldberg's, and of course record the Michael Waltrip installment of A Million Little Things. So there's going to be a lot of catching up to do, depending on if the Spurs end up going home on Wednesday night, if they lose to the Pelicans. And if they do go home, I will spend the whole rest of the season catching up on the stuff I missed. So see you later, everyone. See you off on those next two videos, their next 2 days. Peace.